Hello and welcome to the first Fox's Let's Go's progress report. Considering this is the first one of these, I'll try to keep the explanation brief. For every one of these, I'll simply be explaining what has happened this month in regards to development on the game. I want to keep this series at least somewhat understandable, so no code explanations and whatnot. Trying to keep it inclusive here. At last, I'll just be noting how I've been, so this all just feels a little bit more human. I announced that I wanted to do these back in May, so today I'll be covering everything that has happened since then. This one's gonna end up a bit longer than it usually would, but oh well. Let's start! A big part of why progress laid so dormant throughout the start of 2025 was because of school. School's made it increasingly difficult over the past few years for me to get development done on these games, whether that be for homework or having to mindlessly ram information into my brain. I hate doing that so much! Thankfully, I have summer break, so I get to properly work on the game now. During the time that I wasn't able to work on the game, I do a lot of planning and sketching for what I still have to do. This may come as a shocker, but I actually released Demo 2 in the middle of my exams! Yes! I was putting Fox's Fun Schoolhouse over my exams. This is genuinely one of the dumbest things I think I've ever done. Okay, progress time. In May, I was mostly working on getting both mathematics and spelling run done. A big part of mathematics was figuring out how I would get it to be friendly for controllers. In Update 2.0, you can move the cursor with your joystick, which meant I was able to implement a number pad. However, this ended up causing confusion in the future. Another thing I really wanted to do for both of the modes was make the screen pixelated. I did this by limiting the screen to a lower resolution. While it did seem like a good idea on paper, it ended up also causing issues. Issues that I can't even begin to explain. Dude, what is this? How? How is this happening? What is the decision to give both of the modes a menu was also an interesting one. In Fox's Fun Schoolhouse Legacy, which refers to the old version of the game, these modes would both immediately boot you into the gameplay, which was kind of abrupt, especially in Spelling Run, where you're given less than ideal reaction time to start running. As my exams passed by and the time since demo going grew larger, I knew I had to get this demo out soon. Was it pressuring? Yes. Did it give me the adrenaline rush I needed? Absolutely. I set up a checklist for everything I had to do for demo 2. Can't be that bad. So we were halfway through June and I still had so much to do. And I didn't even get to fully do one of them! The entirety of the tutorial was something I did in June. I took a lot of inspiration from all these basics plus this tutorial, which made the process a lot easier. I sat down on a call with Jinx at some point to discuss the final Foxo I was seeing. Eventually we settled on this. Another thing I had to do in June was the secret ending for Chaos Mode. Now, because this was such a recent addition to Legacy, it's almost been a year, there were many changes I had to make. The bus ending and the noises Foxo made on the title screen were also something people really wanted back, so I spent about 30 minutes adding both of those back too. All that's left is bug fixes. Can't be that bad, right? Yeah, it wasn't that bad. I think the bug fixing was genuinely like the easiest part, except for this dreaded elevator bug with the audio doing whatever this is. To prepare for Demo 2's release, I quickly threw together a trailer and a changelog and streamed it to Jinx's server. Story complete. But something didn't feel right. Why wasn't I satisfied? Let's be real, when am I ever satisfied? It seems to always be that I felt like I was rushing things, which is definitely a problem of mine. I've always saved things up until the last minute, which ends up in me stressing, yada yada, you get the gist. It's something I'm gonna try to work on because I'm not releasing any more demos. Sorry. This month I've done mostly a lot of bug fixing. I sadly have to change the resolution back to the normal one. Like I showed earlier, there were issues popping up on people's devices, but also issues popping up with readability and spelling runs. The number pad in mathematics, like I mentioned earlier, caused confusion for some. This is because they had their mouse on the number buttons and pressed enter to input their answer. This causes an issue where the button reacts to you pressing enter, causing a number to pop up in the text box. I changed this by changing the button pressing key binding to Z. Another very tiny thing I changed was removing the Foxos in the tutorial. As someone had mentioned, it's kind of stupid how they're shown to you when you're being taught about items and then at the end being shown to you as if it's something really special. As fun as it may seem to work on this game, which it is, by the way, I'm not trying to say it's not, it can be exceedingly stressful at times. This is by far the biggest project I've ever done, and doing something this ambitious definitely isn't easy. I've been alright. Not super good, not super bad, I've just been alright. As for when I expect this game to be done, I still have my bets on the end of the year. I hope that this sort of thing interests you in some way. If you want more of these, let me know in the comments and maybe give suggestions on what I could discuss next in August. I'll see you all soon. Bye!